After fears that he would leave Inter Milan, and we talked a bit about it on Monday's show, Robo, Antonio Conte has decided to actually stay in Italy. Do you think that he's put now more pressure on himself to win Serie A next season?
Absolutely. If you go to the board, say, I'm not happy with certain things, or the president say, I'm not happy with certain things, I wasn't happy with the transfer policy, I'm not happy with this, that and the other, and the president says, OK, you can have all those things, and you've got full control over who comes in and who goes out, you know, and we pay you a lot of money, we're going to keep you to your 2-year contract. He's putting himself under massive pressure, because if it all starts to go wrong early on in the season, the president says to him, we gave you all these things and you haven't delivered. Because the only way that Conte has success next year is if they win Serie A. That's the only thing that will be successful in terms of Inter's, certainly in the president's eyes, Inter. They have to win the title, and he's put himself under a great deal of pressure. He has to win that or he'll probably be out.
Do you think that his strategy, maybe his plan, and we know at times he can be a bit Machiavellic, was, OK, I'm going to give that interview after the Europa League final where I hint the fact that I can leave. Then the club sort of panics a little bit and say yes to everything he asks, and then he's coming back in a much stronger position, albeit under pressure?
He's in a stronger position. I think the Christian Eriksen one was one that he didn't want to happen, because he does. Christian Eriksen, when he was signed, I thought he doesn't fit into anywhere where Antonio Conte lays out his team, his formation. So why has he got him? So now we find out that he didn't really want him. So that won't happen again, I shouldn't think. And he will try and get the players in that he wants. Yeah.
Dean Henderson has signed a new deal at United, Robo, 5-year deal. If you were Manchester United manager now, which might happen one day, we don't know, would you play De Gea or would you play Henderson?
I'm still a De Gea fan. I know he's
even despite all the mistakes.
Despite the mistakes, if he's at the club, I think you play him, because he has proved on many, many occasions to be their number one goalkeeper. He's been a great goalkeeper. At one point, I think he was probably the world's best goalkeeper. He's gone off the boil slightly. If I was the Manchester United manager, I might be thinking of selling him, because if he makes 2 or 3 mistakes this season, everybody's onto it. You know, there's that. If you don't make any mistakes for several years and you make 2, people forget about them. But because he's made mistakes over the last couple of years, as soon as he makes one next season, he might play brilliantly for 3 or 4 games. As soon as he makes one mistake, the press are going to be onto him again. Why aren't you playing somebody else in goal? If he's at the club, I would play him. But if I was Solskjaer, I'd be looking to get rid of him at some point.
And then start Dean Henderson, even if he's young and only had 1 season in the Premier League with Sheffield United, albeit great.
Yeah, and then start Dean Henderson in goal.
Interesting. Yeah,
if De Gea's there, I think I would play him, because I still think he's a top-class goalkeeper. But if he makes a couple of mistakes, if I was Solskjaer, I'd be looking now to get rid of him, because I think he's past his best.
Yeah. Robo is going from bad to worse for Harry Maguire. He was found guilty of aggravated assault and received a suspended 21-month sentence, which he decided to appeal, and the appeal had been granted, and there will be another trial. And then he was dropped from the England squad by Gareth Southgate. Was that the right decision from Southgate? And by the way, was it right to include him in the first place?
That's what I was going to say, because Gareth Southgate said all the right things. I've been speaking to the club, I've been speaking to the player, and he's got another side to the story, so I've picked him for the squad, and you know he's a big part of our team. So he said what seemed to be all the right things, but I would have said right from the start, while he was going to court to have to try and defend himself, or get other people to defend himself, I'm not sure he should have been in the squad in the first place, because to then take him out the squad makes it difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's. And also, if he's in the squad, all the talk, all that week from the press, all the pressure will be on the player, all the pressure will be on Southgate, talking about Harry Maguire and what did he do and how you're going to cope with this and what the player's saying to Harry Maguire. Is everybody behind him? It'd have been best if he'd have just left him out, said for the benefit of everybody, us, the club, and Harry Maguire. You know, we don't believe the accusations that have been against him. But at the moment, it's best just to leave him out the squad, to let him concentrate on what he's got to concentrate on.
Because even mentally for Maguire, do you think he would be ready to play a international game like a Nations League game?
No, absolutely not. If you're worried about, you might go to prison, you might be sentenced, you might your court cases coming up. Nobody's going to be in the right frame of mind to play a football game. Some people say that it's the best time to play football. It takes your mind off of those sort of things. But I'm not sure that's the right thing. Because everybody everybody would be looking at him. Every mistake he made, oh, well, that's because he's worried about his court case. Matt Doherty is close to joining Tottenham from Wolves. Mourinho wanted a right-back, and he's got one of the best in the Premier League last season, would you say?
I would say so, although he played in a different formation.
Different position,
so
right
he was
wing
more
back,
of a wing back, certainly, than a right back. But I can't see why he could not adapt and go to a back four. Certainly going forward, he's one of the best. I think the quality of his crossing, his intelligence in the box and taking that space going forward is great. Defensively, of course, it's going to be harder for him in the back four than in the back five. But for, £15 million, something like that, I think that would be a great sign.
But having watched a little bit of Spurs towards the end of last season, the formation that Mourinho was trying to play with, yes, it was a back four, but the fullbacks were very rarely in the defensive positions.
Yeah, because
he had
used
Winks
to drop
and
a bit.
Sissoko, the holding midfield players. As soon as they got the ball, the two fullbacks went high up the field, as Matt Doherty does.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was Winks and Sissoko came into sort of almost fullback position or semi-fullback positions to cover the fullbacks going forward.
Yeah.
So if he plays like that, Matt Doherty would be ideal.
I think so too. And to replace him, it looks like Wolves are looking at Ainsley Maitland-Niles from Arsenal. Would you be disappointed if Arsenal let him go, or you think that if he wants to move away after some
just from people I speak to at Arsenal, I think he's a decent player. I saw him play for the England youth sides. He's got loads of energy. Played brilliantly in the Cup final
and semi-final
as a left wing back and in the semi-final. But he's not a consistent player, and I think when I speak to people at Arsenal, they're not quite sure that he's going to go to that next level. And if you're looking, one of the things that Arteta has to get at Arsenal now is consistency with performances and attitude and energy.
Yeah.
While he's got all the energy, I'm not sure he always makes the right decision. So I think it's a good move for him to go to Wolves.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.